Away, 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 away. Hello, everyone. This is the Awaken As Love podcast, and Anayza is speaking, and I'm here with the wonderful and amazing Saare. Hello, Saare.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
I think, feel, and know Saare is absolutely incredible, real, human being, shamanic, goddess, priestess. Like when Saare and I met in holding space in a beautiful plant medicine experience that she brought me in on to co-facilitate, and I was awestruck by her prowess in the space. And so I'm just really excited for us to be partners in this life in this way. And yeah, Sarah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, I just want to say that, excuse me, I think you're like the second or third person that has said that steps into the space that I co-created. Everyone says, "Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. This is so great." And I'm like, I know, I created it. So just to hear that and just see all of this years of work and tears and time and energy and anger and frustration and doubt and confusion finally starting to make sense, like it really just warms my heart. And I really create a space where we are allowed to be free and authentic and go in there and get the work done, and you're being taken care of, and you could be yourself, I could be myself. And to see that, to hear that feedback is amazing. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So my name is Saare, Saare, Elizabeth, and I am the conscious content creator for the Healer's Nest. And I transitioned the Healer's Nest from a business into a ministry because I just feel like that's more in alignment, really trying to, I guess, like pivot out of capitalism just a little bit. And I noticed in my own journey of building a business, it's just like really masculine driven. And I'm also trying to move away from that energy, especially since I embody mostly of that energy. But I teach women how to heal themselves energetically, and through movement and through plant medicine. And at this point, I mostly create and share content that supports and empowers women from all walks of life, especially mothers who have had an addiction or trauma, who work in the work field. And I mostly share my journey too, because I realized by sharing my journey in my own words, in my own unique expression, it really brings healing and community and like connection. And I want people to feel like they're not the only ones experiencing these feelings, experiencing these thoughts, experiencing these experiences that are really unheard of. Because I've experienced some stuff, man. And I'm very proud of myself for allowing myself to be that vulnerable, because those are the people that I want to connect with. I want to connect with the weird. I want to connect with the odd. I want to connect with truth, love, passion.
Yeah.
weirdness.
Yeah.
So I mostly attract women who are highly sensitive, who are empaths, who are neurodivergent, because those are things that that I embody also. And one of the biggest things that I recognize this year so far is that there's really no medicinal space for those type of people,
Mm.
because you really have to approach medicine differently with those type of women.
Oh.
So you can't just, give them, 3 grams or 3 shots and YOLO, see you on the other side, because those women who are highly sensitive, they're already coming in with a whacked out nervous system. They're already coming in with, this perception of, I had to fight all my life, and now I have to step into a space to fight again.
Oh.
And I know that's from my experience. And yes, I had to go through the journeys that I have went through to arrive at this point, and I'm very grateful for that, because I'm able to create and cultivate something that the medicinal space needs for these type of women. But on the other end, it was just like really hard.
Mm.
The journeys were hard, the integration was hard, the connection was hard, the pain was hard. Like, it's just all very hard.
Mm.
And especially while you're under medicine, because everything's heightened. When I'm in this reality, everything's already heightened, but when you add medicine to that, it's heightened even more.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been really sitting with that. And last year, after some years of doing some serious shadow work and medicine work, and just, really taking my time, last year I start launching the Healer's Nest one-on-one retreats, plant medicine retreats. And it's been beautiful. It has been amazing. And the people that are here in this space, including you, I mean, I got down to the very nitty gritty detail
Mm.
of everything. And yeah, so far so good. And we're about to start the 2023 season in May, up until August, and I'm really looking forward to what spirit and the divine and the plants have in store for my guest and myself.
Mm. Beautiful. You said a lot there. I mean,
Mhm.
reflecting some parts is moving from business to ministry, masculine and feminine, working with intuitive women and neurodivergence, and like their nervous system approaching medicine differently, and then having just started last year, and then your own shadow work and process. I'm like, those are all areas I want you to speak more about.
Yeah, yeah. I think I feel more comfortable starting with like the medicine calling
Okay.
aspect of it. So I started my plant medicine journey in 2000, like 16, I think 2016 or 17. And well, actually it was 2017, because in 2016 I did a lot of work on my own, EMDR, journaling, meditation, all the jazz, right? And I hit this block in my journey that like something was just not clicking.
Mm.
So I remember laying in bed and I was praying. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I will never forget. It's so crazy. I think about this all the time. I was laying in bed, and in my left ear, I heard this woman's voice, and she said, "I am ayahuasca. You are ready. Come sit with
Mm,
me." And, you know, like I knew what ayahuasca was, but I knew what it was in a very healthy perspective. You know,
mm,
oh, I'm going to go to Peru and go get high. Ooh, because I was an addict then, right?
mm,
So when she spoke to me, I was like, okay, I know this is real because I know who she is, but oh my gosh, like I can't get to Peru right now. So long story short, 30 days later, I make a 6-hour drive to Amsterdam with a stranger I don't even know. You know, it was crazy, crazy stuff. But that was the first ceremony that really opened my eyes. Like it helped me so much. But the problem of what that was, it opened me up so much where I was like giving like hugs. I was a care bear, man, just handing it out like candy. No
mm,
boundaries, no this, no that. And I had a second ceremony, and mother told me absolutely not, but I did it anyway. And that was the journey where she told me after the ceremony, she said, what did she say? I have to say it just right. She said, "Darkness will teach you things that love never will. And
mm,
this is going to be with you for a while."
mm.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
Deep, deep.
So I went like down this really deep, like darkness, man. And looking back, it served its purpose because on contrast, I was just love and light, you know, prayer, ooh, out there in the clouds, man. And she used that experience. She's like, okay, cool, you're not gonna listen. All right, well, let's all right, here we go. So she really pulled me back down. And in that moment, like my life radically changed again. Um, but I vowed to never touch medicine again. Never. In 2019, I fell sick with a dys-ease called PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And for people that don't know what that is, it's where you have like PMS symptoms, but they are very heightened for 3 weeks. So I was in bed for 3 weeks, extreme chronic fatigue, chronic pain, chronic suicidal thoughts and ideations. Like it was 2.5 years of total darkness.
Mm,
Horrible. And me being the little believer that I am, the little engine that could, you know, my faith is so strong in God, the goddess, that I knew that this was all for something. I knew there was something bigger than me. You know, I was just like, I don't know what's going on, but I just believe that God has me. And every time I talked to God, it was like he gave me signs of confirmation. So I was just like, okay, here we go. So from 2019, in 2019, I said, you know, if anybody's going to heal me, I know Mother Ayahuasca will. Oh my God, you know, here we go.
yeah.
And so she spoke to me. She's like, yes, I'm gonna heal you. I'm gonna help you, but you're also going to serve my medicine. Now, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. No, no. And she's like, not right now, but you will. 2 weeks later, I found a medicine woman who lived 2 minutes from down the road from me.
Huh.
Okay. Oh, and she lived like in a $2.2 million house.
Ooh.
So yeah, I was like, okay. And the beautiful thing is, like, from all of these like ayahuasca ceremonies, like I've taken like all the positive things from those, like intuitive, awesome meals that came from Amsterdam, 2.2 luxury glamping that came from my 2.2 million, you know, making sure you won't spaz out that came from me, you know. I really, you know, created this beautiful container of doing medicine differently. But anyway, So from 2019 to 2021, yeah, from 2021, well, for till 2022, really, I have been sitting with the medicine, learning from the medicine, and during the midst of all of that healing and learning and integrating, she was really stripping everything that I knew. And
Mm.
one of the biggest things that it was like the first initiation. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I realized that I was really prejudiced. I
Mm.
did not, you know, and there was a lot of trauma behind that. I was traumatically beaten by my Black father. I worked in a prison where there's mostly Black people. I got beat up in high school with Black people. And she showed me how that really shaped my, my views on how I operate and how unfair
Mm.
the world is to our brothers and sisters.
Mm.
And that was the first. And once I was like, oh shit, we're really getting deep.
Mm.
I mean, she pulled back everything,
Mm.
everything. And I'm so glad that was like the beginning of the initiation, because it really did show me how unfair I've been. It
Mm.
really showed me that I was not diverse in my community. It showed me that I was not spending my money in these particular places. Like, it showed me how unintentional I was living
Mm.
and how much privilege I have to bring about a change. And so I was just sitting like, okay, I know how I have privilege. How can I use that privilege? Well, majority of my audience, they're white.
Mhm.
So I'm consciously pulling in Black healers and creators and dealers and medicine women, and I'm pushing those resources to my white audience.
Mm.
And luckily, not luckily, but it's not luck, but they're opening their eyes too. Like, wow, I didn't know this even existed. I didn't know this is their gift. I didn't know. So she really just, I mean, with everything, with people,
Mm.
with my parenting, with my life, with everything.
Mm.
And looking back and being where I'm at now, it was so necessary to be able to create the containers that I have. Because if I brought that energy into this space, girl, it would be, it's no longer about the medicine at this point. It's about our egos. And she was making sure that I had no fucking ego.
Mm.
Excuse my French.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
I say all that because there are a lot of people, and I say this respectfully, and I don't say this to bash anybody or anything else like that. But there's no way you can like have like a couple ceremonies and say, I'm called to serve the medicine, and start serving the medicine, because it doesn't work that way. I mean, I know of all the work that I have put in. I know of all the work of, luckily, of the mentors that taught me the right way. I see the work that they put in.
Mhm.
And it's not years. And I also want to reiterate one more time, for anyone that says, well, you're dealing with medicines that shamans have been drinking and studying and working with for years. And I understand that, and I respect that. And that was one of the things that has held me back this last year,
Mhm.
because I'm like, no, I need to sit with the medicine for 10 years.
Mhm.
What the medicine is telling me a completely opposite thing, because the medicine's making its way here in America, whether we like it or not. And everybody's called, but there's only a few that really take it seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's really focused on the ones that are taking it seriously. And oh, hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry, my phone's ringing.
No, it's okay.
Um, but I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
She's focusing on the ones who are really taking it seriously.
Yeah, she's really focusing on the ones that are taking it seriously, and they are doing the work, and they are devoting the time and energy to not just explore the psychedelic part of it, you know, because everybody is just aware of mushrooms, everybody's just aware of ayahuasca. And my thing is to, you know, this is a red flag, and this is something I tell people all the time. This is something that my mentor ingrained in me. What plants have you dieted besides ayahuasca?
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't name off at least 2 or 3, or, you know, at least have one plant on board or 2 or 3 plants that they have worked with, that is a clear red sign that they drank the medicine and that's all they're focused on, and they're just hitting the, you know, running out the gate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
um so as far as time with sitting with plants or sitting with the medicine to be this type of shaman, we also have to recognize that we are in the Western civilization part of the world.
Yeah.
We also have to take into consideration that our lineage, I'm half Cherokee, half Togo, half Chinese. So I'm saying this for the first time because they keep telling me this, but it runs in my blood. You know, it runs my blood. So it's like, it's kind of like second nature to me, even though I'm like, I didn't choose this job.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
I feel
know, I didn't sign up for this.
Yep. Or but you also did, you know, there's like that little, yeah.
Why is that? I should have read that fine line.
Right, right, right.
Um, so, you know, there's a lot of um basically what I'm trying to say is that, you know, that time is now. Time is what we make of it. Time is integrity. Time is in devotion to your spirit and to the plants. And that's how we make time. Because I can sit here and, you know, wait 10 years and work on absolutely everything, or I can, in the meantime, do those things and honor what Mother is asking me to do and help bring this collective into a different direction.
Absolutely.
With respect, with integrity. And that's something that I hold dearly to my heart.
Yeah.
And that's something I want people to pay attention to. Because, you know, you can, you know, and everybody's not like that, but I'm just saying, like, you got to be very intentional and prayerful.
Yes, you do. There's a quality to reverence, you know, and we're not really right now in like spiritual consumerism capitalism. There's not a lot of attunement to understanding how to pay attention to reverence, because it's all about like influencer vibe. But that's not what that's not why we're here. We're not here for that, you know.
That's beautiful. I 100% agree with that. It's about really, you know, carrying the light, not being the light, like carrying the light with respect, and not out here, you know, for likes and comments and, you know, influencing and all that stuff, because that stuff is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, it's not what this is about. And so I want to, once again, you said so many things. So I want to put in the word holistic because I feel like a big part of why I find you to be in such deep integrity is your awareness is holistic. And so one way you mentioned holisticness is by mentioning the capacity to dye other plants, and like having a relationship with the plant realm and the nuances, not just psychedelics, but like attuning our bodies to the subtle senses of the rose or Bogansana, I think is that, did I say that correctly? And yes, it's just so valuable. And it's so valuable. And then also you mentioned before the nervous system, and then also that you do movement with people. So it's understanding like what the realms that we open in plant medicine are far, right? They're like far out there and they're like deep in here.
Yeah.
And so like having the capacity to like understand the bridging of that, with the like the movement of the nervous system. And then you mentioned like culture, which is really like I didn't actually know that about you, about the prejudice and just like your awareness of it. And it comes up like it came up at the retreat that we facilitate together. It came up at the retreat. Cultural dynamics are always present. They're
Yes.
always present. And what I find a lot of people are not attuned to is how to respond. And then most of these spaces then they tend to be most to all white, right? They're all white spaces because if they are a mixed space, you're going to get cultural tensions. And if you haven't divested enough in yourself and invested time, like divested from the paradigm and invested time to understand how that paradigm lives in all of us, it
Yes.
yeah, it's not, I think you said like it's not going to work because it's not going to work. It's like healing can't happen because like racism and sexism I think are the two biggest isms, and all other isms like kind of come from it, and they're like kind of always speaking, and it doesn't mean they have to be the only voice in the room or the loudest voice in the room. This is why once again I love Saare and I love her holistic integrity. It is the only way to do plant medicine. It is the only way because of the portals that are opening. And
Mhm.
and like you said, it's coming. It's here. It's not even coming. It's already come. It's here. It's happening. People are doing it like left, right, and center. I mean, I worked at a plant. I mean, I worked at Ayahuasca Retreat Center in Peru, so it was a little different because we're there, but people were coming from Europe and Canada and the States,
Mhm.
and if you're in the healing world, most likely you're in some, not most likely, actually, there's a ton of healing modalities that aren't connected to plant medicine. But most likely, I would say you would have someone that you've worked with or that's in your circle that has done plant medicine. I think that's actually because so many people have at least done psilocybin, maybe not in a sacred way, but in a
Mhm.
recreational way.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we really just have to like hold holistic perspectives and then like really understand integrity, like really understand,
Mhm.
really, really deeply understand what integrity means when you're doing this work. And I really appreciate also how you said, like you could sit for 10 years, or you can take a step now and work on yourself and do this work in the collective. Because I mean, I do feel like that's what this moment is because we're all human. Like
Mhm.
I love Buddha and Jesus and Ramahan Maharashi and Jiddu Krishnamurti, like all these amazing people, but I don't think that's our time. I think we're in a time of a collective awakening, of a collective Christ consciousness, and like we're all human and we're all divine. And so, and as much as how necessary it is to spend time in our inner practice and our inner evolution, it also has to happen congruently with
Mhm.
our external evolution in our world because like you said, the time is now. Like the time is absolutely now.
Mhm.
Yeah. And no one's perfect. We're all growing and healing together. And some of us have just decided, like I know both of us, we have just decided to spend all our time in our internal evolution so we can support others in their evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to start with what you said about um all of the previous masters,
Mm.
ascended masters, Jesus, Buddha, all of them. And
Mhm.
so we're dealing with that collective, and those times were different. And then we want to think about like the 60s areas, the rise of the guru, right?
Mhm.
And we want to think about the time where we're at right now. You know, we're really in this time where we are our own guru. We don't have to go to somebody. We don't have to, worship someone to obtain enlightenment, And I really feel like we are also each other's guru to a sense, because each of us can offer something different to take us where we want to be or where we need to be if we're open to it, um so I just I want to say that. The second thing I want to say is that, going back to the prejudice that I used to have, I often think about, because, when I come and set up these, at the time, 2-on-2 containers, or when I hold group containers, which I will in the future, I am very conscious about, all right, I want a Mexican woman, I want a Black woman, I want an Indigenous woman, I want a white woman, I want all these people to come in, because if we were all the same, we're not going to learn nothing. And it goes back to what you were saying, which is so true. We have to learn how to communicate and hold and move and pivot and things, and also teach and guide things that make us feel uncomfortable. And we have to have that awareness to look at and say, it's not even awareness, it's spiritual maturity, in my opinion. We have to have that spiritual maturity to look at what's going on in here and saying, okay, what's going on in here? Like, is this me? Is this a wound? Mm-hmm. Am I projecting this on this person? Mm-hmm. Or is this person really not connecting 2 and 2 together, So it's all, it's about maturity, awareness, and discernment, and not acting. And just, for me, I take it all in. Mm-hmm. I'm investigating and feeling and seeing everything before I take action. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's really important now than ever to start creating these containers that are diverse. Yes. Because I think it speaks volumes as a retreat leader or host or whatever, that you're playing it safe by just bringing all these people in. Yeah, they all might have the same energetic alignment or whatever, and that's great. But what are we learning? How we're not learning about each other. We're not helping each other if you're just having a certain set of collective of people here. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that's why when I started exploring the 2-on-2 retreats, I always made sure I had a concoction. A white person and a Black person in there, always, because I knew either we're all going to get along or somebody's going to get triggered, and when it happens, I'm like, yes, it's beautiful. This is medicine. Let's dig. Like how we did. Whew, I'm really glad that you were there too. Mm-hmm. Because I created it, but it's I will be honest, it's like, man, how would have navigated that? I only know that I only get instructions and and it stops right there. But that's why I create these containers, and we have to learn how to get over our ancestrals' racism and prejudice, whatever, we have to.
have
We
to.
have to.
You have to.
And the way we do that is starting to create these spaces. So anyway, so there's that. I specifically work with women as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
And based off me studying and inviting the divine ascendant masters into my medicine work, it has became very clear to me that this medicine is meant to be used by women,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in a ceremonial setting.
Mm-hmm.
So when you consume these medicines, and a lot of these women, they come in with stagnant energy, with stuck energy, you know. The medicine has a way of instructing you to move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we're in a group setting and you're told by respectfully, and I say this respectfully, with a male shaman, and they tell you, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, because you're going to distract everybody else. I'm already coming with issues, sir. Now I have to sit here in all of my issues.
Can I say something? Because I just want to say I have not sat with ayahuasca many times. The first time I sat with ayahuasca, it was with three white women in New York State.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it was phenomenal. It was a lot happened, but they were singing and dancing and moving. I like sang in ways I've never, it was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then every other time since then, which is only about four times. I mean, I haven't sat many times, four times, because I was working at the center, but I would just support, as you know, support without drinking, only with men. And they were not, I was with respect. It was just exactly what you said. Just like that has been my exact experience.
Yes. So, when you come in with your stagnant energy and when you're told to sit there and be quiet, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I mean, and maybe for a client or two, that just reiterates a story from childhood. You're not seen, not heard, whatever, right? So when you commune with plant medicine, she's going to ask you to move. By allowing the medicine to move through you, and you're moving with the medicine. Hold on for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Get out. Dogs are on the couch and they know.
They know better.
And so when we move with the medicine or sing with the medicine and just move with the medicine, what the medicine is teaching that participant to do, which I allow that to happen, is you're learning how to heal yourself through movement. You're resetting the nervous system. You're resetting the vagus nerve. You're moving trauma out of the body. Right? And so I love that so much, because one of my integration practices, some of them have been with not with consent, voluntarily, because it really does open you up. Some of them involuntarily, because I'm trying to take them outside their comfort zone. I'm like, no. One of our integration practices is, turning on a playlist and being with nature and being with the body. Okay, now you know what it feels like in ceremony. Now let's try to access that in reality. Okay. And you're learning to practice, you're learning your movement, you're healing, all the things, right? And so that's my approach. That's my somatic approach to incorporating, movement with plant medicine to reset the nervous system.
Yeah.
So there's that. The last thing, which I was going to say, wow, I'm remembering all of these bullet points. How am I doing that? Had my lion's mane this morning. though, so the last thing is the attuning yourself to the plant medicine, besides just like the psychedelic part of it. I'm so grateful. So my ceremony in Amsterdam, what they taught me was like the energetics part of it. That's when I knew that I was an empath. That's when I knew my thing was energy. Okay. And so they really showed me how to work with energetics, right? However, my medicine mama, my mentor, when I was starting to sit with her, it was very different. And I love that so much, because I'm pretty sure she just doesn't do this with anybody, you know. But she invited me out to coffee, and she's like, well, this is what I do. I go to Peru and I go sit with different plants for like 3 months. Okay. Because if you're going to hold ayahuasca space, you have to have certain plants on board, because they help you not only in your own life, but they also help you hold the space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I started putting two to two together, because the second ceremony that I had in Amsterdam, yes, it was divine and I needed it, yada, 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 yada. But I just can't help but to feel that that could have been prevented. Mm. Because once again, especially when we were working with ayahuasca, you are wide open to everything. Mm-hmm. So anything can come in and get you. And it is the facilitator's job.
Yes, it is.
To make sure that does not happen to you. Not just sit there and drink ayahuasca and sing you beautiful lullabies.
Yes. Emphasis, emphasis.
Yes. So that was the biggest thing that was driven home to me. Okay. As of right now, I can't make it to Peru. I've got 3 babies. I got 2 teenagers. I got a daughter who is bougie. Okay. I live in a state where milk is literally $7. Okay. And I have a husband. He's like, don't leave me. So I'm doing what I can from home until I get to Peru. So what does that work look like for me? Well, you know, of course, working with the medicine, working on the things that she's brought up for me, you know, working on myself. And then I started incorporating energetically the different types of plants. Now I've consumed some of them, but I haven't sat with them like I've sat with the rose. So I've been sitting with the rose medicine. And I'm about to go back in next month. And now I see what my mentor is talking about. Not only from experience, but from also like the last 2 ceremonies that I've had. These plants install themselves inside of you. They're like your spirit guides. And they're there to support you and to protect you and to help you. But they're also there to help you manipulate and control the space and to just do this phenomenal magic. Okay. I've since my rose dieta, I've sat with ayahuasca with some participants, mind blowing. Then on the other spectrum, I sat with psilocybin with a client, and the plants, they run this show. And so it's just, it really opened my eyes into what I do and what I consume deeply impacts the space. Yes. It doesn't matter if it's ayahuasca or psilocybin or DMT or whatever's out there, you know. Traditionally in the Shipibo lineage, that's what I study the most. Well, I studied the Shipibo lineage, and then for psilocybin, I do like the Mayan lineage, like the fire ceremonies, and I'm trying to like work on my singing, and which we'll talk about singing in just a second. But in the Shipibo lineage, the shamans, they sit and diet plants, and they're called dietas. So some of the most popular ones that everybody's doing right now is the Neo Rayo dieta, which is the tree of light, Bobasana, which is a heart opener. My personal favorite, and I feel like he's with me because I need him to help me hold this space, is Ahosacha.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit with these plants or consume them, they install knowledge and all that jazz, but they also install what is called ikros,
Mm-hmm.
songs of magic, songs of prayers, songs of healing. So the plants can put the songs and you sing the songs, and that's how you are really able to do some deep cellular healing for the person and consuming the medicine, right? So that is something that I hold dearly and I share with absolutely everybody. And I will say, I'll be the first one to say, um, my approach to sitting with non-psychedelics is different, but the integrity is there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll cancel a retreat and give
Mm-hmm.
you back all your money if I'm not in alignment, or
Yeah.
if the plants tell me no.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so my point is being, if you're going to sit with somebody, you need to ask them what plants they have sat with.
Mm-hmm.
30 days, okay. 3 months, okay.
Mm-hmm.
For a couple years, oh yeah. And I know two facilitators, they've been, all they do is go to Peru and sit with plants and hold space. And it's magical. It is, I mean, for me, hashtag goals. I like to consider myself a baby witch. I have my gifts, I do my thing, we get what we need. I want people to come back. We don't want to send them too far out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But having those plants on board makes a huge difference. And so far for me, right now, I have Ahasacha and the rose, for sure. The rose, like, it is cosmic.
Yeah. There's been so much wisdom and like potent information about you and also about what it means to enter in the plant medicine world for participants and also for facilitators. So this, thank you. And
Yeah.
I would like you to share with people about your offerings, your upcoming retreat. Yeah, I know some are booked. I think you still have some space. I'm not sure how much space you have.
Yeah. So as of right now, I'm only working one-on-one because that's all my capacity allows me to give right now. Now, next year, probably more than likely, you'll see me on Anayza. um, I did receive the vision to start holding space up to 6 to 8 people just with the ayahuasca vine, and that's a whole nother conversation. But before I do that, I really want to lock in the Aho Sacha dieta first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's just the safety of myself, the facilitators, and the guest.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, so that will be next year, but right now I'm just doing the one-on-ones. I hold one retreat. It's a 3-day retreat. We ceremony Thursday, Friday and Saturday. We integrate on Sunday, and it's optional if you want to do like a baby ceremony, like a big microdose, I like to call it. And I do those once a month, August, September, and May is already booked. So I have June, July, and May open. And then once it's, huh?
You said May is booked.
Oh, okay. May's so June, July, and April. April. So those are the last 3 months. It is an investment. However, it's the investment goes towards set and setting. The investment goes towards other women-led and BIPOC businesses. The investment goes towards those intuitive meals and snacks and getting you to the airport or, transportation. And also, it goes towards my work.
Yeah.
It goes towards my work, and my work is sitting with plants and sitting with medicine, and it's not cheap.
And it goes towards you, like whoever the participant is. It's what you can receive in the weekend is invaluable.
Yeah. It's so,
Really,
and it's so beautiful, and it's so
yeah.
cosmic. And like, I really admire myself for the work that I invest in these women and put in, all these tools and tricks and gadgets and things I've collected along the way. And then to have women step into this space who are just really closed off or whatever, to watch them give birth to themselves and shed layers. We're just not drinking medicine. We're massage. And I consider myself a midwife. I'm a doula. I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to baby you. I'm here to pamper you. Like, that is my love language.
And she does that. She really does.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's just not about, drinking medicine. Like I said, it's about, hell, at this point, this is another way of building relationships. It's kind of weird.
It's true. I say to people that when you work with Saare and you enter into Healer's Nest, you're receiving a life partner. Like the way I've witnessed you taking care of the woman in the circle and just being so present and available. Your availability is really astounding to me. Like, it's really impressive, and you really are. The investment is for life if you choose it. Saare's got you, and the other women in the circle also are just so kind and generous and beautiful and dynamic, and really, it's really special. It's a really special, like, circle in the Healer's Nest.
Yes.
And I'm one of the BIPOC businesses that you'll be supporting when you connect with Saare. I'll be offering the integrative session. So, like, after this deep, amazing experience, you return to your life. And I love helping people bridge those astral interconnections into their daily lives, because, as Sayer said, and as is true, these realms can be accessed not just on medicine. And the information we receive or on those medicines need to have time to integrate into our nervous system, into our thinking patterns, into our life. And I'm really grateful that I think it's 2 sessions after your retreat. So you're like well taken care of. And these one-to-one retreats are for women, and they're in Washington State.
Yes. I just want to say real quick, there was a point where I thought I had to do it all in these retreats. And as you know, it takes a lot of energy. Like, I don't want to ruin the surprise or anything, but there's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. It looks like I'm sitting here. I'm not. And I tried to do the integration part too. I tried to be the integration coach, and I realized, you know what? I'm not even like trained to do that. And I don't have time to be training in that, because this is where I really want to be at. I just want to sit with my roses in a closet and by myself. And so I just can't help but to think that our relationship was just all divine and coordinated, and as weird and spunky and spontaneous as it was freaking perfect, because I have a client that's in the corporate field, and we thought she was coming in for this intention, and she got a full-blown spiritual awakening. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to hold this. And so my client in Anayza has been or have been working, for the past 3 months or something.
Mhm.
And it opened my eyes up to why integration after ceremony with a professional is so vital,
Mhm.
so important, so crucial
Yeah, it is.
a part of this path. And so it's and then you really help my client really land,
Mhm.
because if you don't have that support, you can go to psychosis, you can go into a dark night of the soul. Like, she has been so
Mhm.
blessed,
Yeah, really.
so blessed.
Yeah.
And so when I was working on my offering last year, sitting with my offering, I said, hands down, Anayza has to be included, because, I'm not fully responsible, but I do have a sense of responsibility to my clients to make sure they're going to be okay,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to sit with plant medicine.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So,
true.
yeah, so it's awesome I'm so glad to have you on board, and you're amazing. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And it's really, like you said, it is so divinely perfect. It's like, because I was like, because I love plant medicine integration. Like I love it. And I don't trust, honestly, many facilitators or resonate with how they hold the space. So I was like, well, to see, and then just like landed, and that's, yeah, I don't, divine synchronicity, patience, like loving your love, you are amazing in ceremony. I mean, it's phenomenal to like witness you, and it's like being the love, and like that's where your love is best expressed. And then for me, it's integration. It's like that's where my love is best expressed. And it's like love the part you love, and it will work, and we can work together. And that's I'm just yeah, and it's sometimes it's easier said than done to work together, but with us, it's been oh my seamless. We're like we're blessed. We're really blessed
Yeah, we
to work
really
on each
are.
other.
We really, really, really are. We really
Yeah.
are. And I'm grateful towards the medicine, because she really communicates to me.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
she, during that particular retreat, like, I was just, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot. And then when we met, it was just like, see, I told you I got your back. Told you. Are you mad that you had to write 12 pages now? No, I'm not. Worth it. I'll do it all over again.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mhm.
Well, Sarah, tell us. I mean, I'll post your links, but also tell
Yeah.
us where we can find you.
Yes. So I'm on Instagram, the Healer's Nest on Instagram, and on TikTok. I also have my own podcast, The Healer's Nest. It's not updated right now, but there's a lot of good, juicy content on there. And then I also have a book on Amazon, Reclaiming Your True Identity, just so you can get a feel of who I am. And if you're just wanting some guidance and you're waiting for your financial transition, I offer my book, because it's chopped full of journal prompts and my story. And then I have lots of good stuff on my YouTube, The Healer's Nest, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. I love you so much.
Love you too.
I'm so grateful we had this time together. It's been so lovely. And yeah, my name is Anayza. This is the Awaken As Love podcast, and we're signing off. Bye.